Hello again everybody, my name is John from A Living Manuscript, and today we are embarking on an interesting new project. In the past, you've seen me make a clothes helmet. So I'm doing something very similar today, except there's two differences. It's called a closed sallet instead of a closed helmet. I'll tell you the difference about that in a minute. And it's not for me, interestingly. No. Somebody is paying me to build them a closed sallet like this. Now, a closed sallet is just like a closed helmet, really. It's got the same mechanism and all that, but the main difference is that it looks like a sallet. So here's a sallet. Here's a bever for a sallet. And so normally the construction for this is you've got the two that kind of meet here, and they act as two different units, two individuals. But a closed sallet, much like a closed helmet with the integral bever and everything, it's really the same thing. It's the bever is part of the skull on a pivot so that it can also lift up separately and everything, and you get all the benefits from a single unit helmet. So, a little bit of history first about closed sallets and everything. In the late 15th century, Lorenz Helmschmied made a sallet for Emperor Maximilian I. And it was a closed sallet. It's very nice and everything. But there's also some other things. Dr. Tobias Capwell, in his little paper, a helmet found in the Church of St. Barry Edmunds, something similar to that, I referenced it in my other video about the closed helmet. He points out that sometime in the early 1480s, depictions of people wearing sallets with a bever strapped to the sallet, meaning that the bever and sallet were still separate, but they used the chin strap of the bever to go onto the outside of the bever, so that way the helmet acted as a single unit. And this was a bit of a precursor to what would become closed helmets and closed sallets, incidentally. So then, of course, the closed helmet, similar to the one that I made, popped out, and then subsequently the closed sallet, which looks a lot like a sallet but functions like a closed helmet, interestingly. This absolute unit. This is 12 gauge. Now it's still mild steel, but it's still a lot thicker than what I would normally use. Now this is all that I have for this 12 gauge. I've got a lot more 16 and 14 gauge, and so I'm going to make a prototype out of that just to make sure that this pattern works. Now the pattern that I'm using is similar to what I did for the closed helmet in that I have these two lobes that will get welded together, something like that, and then dished out a little bit on the sides there. But not nearly as much as if I had used something like this shape and then just dished it out from there. That way it preserves the thickness where you really want it. That's the plan. Let's get to it. So as you can see here, in the shape I bent it in a very crude way. The edge is mostly flat along a flat surface, and here's the mannequin head. It fits on there pretty well. I've got a pretty decent idea that that's going to work in the more expensive 12 gauge steel. So I'm just going to do a little bit more with this. I'm going to weld that there, and I'm going to dish it out a little bit, make sure that the shape works and everything. Ready-ho! Alright, let's see how this works. You know, it's not quite round or anything, but I think that ought to do it. That was 14 gauge. I think 12 gauge is going to kill me. Okay, so the 14 gauge worked out. So now that really leaves us with only one option, and that's to move on to the 12 gauge. So let's get to it. Getting a little laid out, and if I keep going any longer, I think the neighbors are probably going to come by with the torches and pitchforks, so I'm going to leave you be. This is where we are now. I've still got to planish this half, but otherwise, that's the only thing that's stopping me from welding the two together and then moving on to the sides and everything else. So, thank you everybody for watching. It was great to have you along. If you're interested in seeing the rest of this helmet through, then consider subscribing if you haven't already. Like the video, comment, that sort of thing. Alright, thanks everyone.